Will Harry Kane break Alan Shearer's all-time Premier League goal-scoring record? Before we delve into that, let's look at the stats. Alan Shearer leads the way with 260 goals across spells with Blackburn Rovers and Newcastle United. Whereas at the time of this recording, Harry Kane has scored 179 goals, all with a Tottenham Hotspur jersey. According to my calculations, this means that Harry Kane needs 82 more goals to become the all-time Premier League record goal scorer. But can this be done? Will Kane break Shearer's record? Let's look at a few factors now on how this could happen. The first factor is longevity. Across the Premier League era, we've seen some strikers who can maintain their form well into their 30s. On the flip side, there are some strikers that show some really early promise, have a great career in their 20s, but don't quite match that form into their 30s. And when looking at Premier League goals after the age of 30, three players lead the way: Jamie Vardy, Ian Wright, and Alan Shearer. Now, for Harry Kane to break the record, he also needs to show this type of longevity. Because the reason is, next season Harry Kane will be 29 years of age, and if he wants to break the record over a 4-year period, he'll need around 20 goals a season. Over 5 years, you're looking at 16 goals, and over 6 years, when Harry Kane will be turning 35, he'll need to average around about 13 or 14 goals a season. Can he do this? Can he maintain this consistency over a long period of time, or will Shearer's record be safe? Time will tell. The second factor is Harry Kane's international career. Alan Shearer had a great international career, scoring 30 goals in 63 appearances, but at the age of 29, he decided to step away from international duty to focus solely on Newcastle United. In the present day, Harry Kane is England's leading man, with 49 goals to his name for England, just shy of Wayne Rooney's international goal-scoring record. But you may want to consider, does Harry Kane need to step away from the England team if he's really serious about breaking the Premier League record? Let's look at Alan Shearer's stats after retiring from the England team. The first season was blighted by some minor injuries, limiting Shearer to just 5 goals. But if you look at the next 3 years, Alan Shearer shows some vintage form which made him a household name back in the 1990s. If you look at the final 2 seasons of Shearer's career, the numbers are somewhat underwhelming, but we must consider that Alan Shearer is 35 years old at this stage. But let's also think about Kane again. Would he really step away from the England team? Let's bear in mind that he's the captain, he is the leading player, and England actually have a chance of winning tournaments nowadays. It's also worth noting that he is miles ahead of any other striker in the English system. But, in my opinion, I think it's really pivotal for Harry Kane, if he wants to break the record in the Premier League, to step away from England at some stage. The final factor is injuries. Alan Shearer in his 20s suffered 2 serious injuries, one was with Blackburn Rovers and one at Newcastle United. However, in his 30s, he stayed relatively injury-free, which allowed him to score a lot of goals, as you've already seen. We can't predict injuries in the future, but one thing's for sure, Harry Kane is not getting any younger. And as players reach their 30s, muscle injuries can increase, there's a greater emphasis on recovery, and also squad rotation to allow players to keep going. Harry Kane needs to keep going if he wants to break this record. When it comes to more serious injuries like an ACL tear or a fracture, it's a complete lottery. We don't know if Kane will get these injuries, and touch wood, he won't get them. So to summarise, can Harry Kane break Alan Shearer's all-time Premier League goal-scoring record? I think there are a couple of factors at play here which will determine this. Firstly, it's Harry Kane's injury record over the next 5 years, and also if Harry Kane decides to carry on playing for England well into his 30s. If he decides to carry on with England, I don't think he's going to do it. I think Alan Shearer is going to be safe. But what do I know? And what do you reckon? Will Alan Shearer's record be broken? Let me know in the comments below.